What's up, guys? Therapy Moto here. Today we have an interesting video. We're going to talk about throttle control and clutch control as well. So here we got the 2025 Speed 400. Yeah, and I know a lot of you have probably already seen these around town or where you live, but these are amazing little bikes. These bikes are, 400cc, so typically beginner bikes in that, lightweight category for motorcycles. So yeah, we're gonna kind of look at clutch response and how to maneuver the clutch for all you beginner riders there, and also throttle response and throttle control as well. So without any further ado, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you soon. Okay, so here we are on the Triumph Speed 400, and off we go. So now the first thing you want to do, especially when you, go into first from neutral, you want to make sure that you hit that friction zone very nice and easy. So on this bike, you can see it's kind of about a half an inch really. So the friction zone is nice because you want to be able to maneuver your bike and also be able to stop and also be able to control your bike without revving it. So you want to be able to have a smooth bike, be able to maneuver around the city, around town, on the road, even on, if you're off-roading on a dirt bike, you want to be able to ride your bike efficiently and smoothly. It's all about being smooth. So we're gonna start riding here now, just right after the cyclist has gone by. But yeah, also another note, with your throttle, you want to also kind of time it to where once you hit that friction zone, you add a little bit of gas and you're on the way. So now I'm already in second now. That was pretty quick. So notice how my bike isn't revving hard because again, I'm kind of playing with that friction zone a little bit, making sure that my turns are smooth and my shifting is nice and easy. So you always want to be nice and easy and smooth on a motorcycle. So at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, but you also want to be safe. And I feel like to be a safe and knowledgeable rider, you're going to want to know the basics, which is why I like the Speed 400 and other, smaller displacement bikes, because with these bikes, you're able to kind of learn more of those things, if that makes sense. For me, whenever I, press on the clutch, I usually do two fingers, so two fingers on the clutch, or, sometimes it depends on, how your comfortability is. I know newer riders, they usually put all four fingers, but you still want to be able to have a nice grasp on the handle. So let's see what they're doing. Thank you. So yeah. So now I'm going to come to a complete stop here. You see that? So now if I hit the rev limit too high, I'm not going that fast. But if I play with the throttle and also play with the clutch, you know, and it's usually about a split second, maybe half a second or so, where, you know, I change gears. So right now I'm in third. There we go. Still on the throttle. You might have heard a little bit, but you know, just being smooth with your clutch and with your throttle is going to help you in the long run, just to be an overall better rider. So yeah, I think lots of people don't talk about that, and I feel like that's a very important part of riding. You know, it is what it is. You just got to be able to maneuver and know how to use your clutch, because sometimes when you need to know how to, you know, stop, you got to use that clutch. Otherwise you're going to be in a big trouble, big heap of trouble, especially, you know, if you are in a sketchy part of town, if you're not comfortable yet, if you need to stop, always press in that clutch, press that in. Otherwise, you know, just pressing the brake, it's not going to cut it, because what you're doing is you're cutting off the power to the bike when you press the clutch in. So press the clutch in, you know, ease up on the throttle, yeah, and then you'll have fun. So yeah, and I feel like sometimes, I don't know, sometimes people just don't really pay a whole lot of attention to some of those details, especially newer riders when they're, you know, starting to ride. And you know, right now I'm just pressing the clutch and I'm slowing down, so I'm not doing anything fancy. You guys can go. So you got these guys on the scooters here. Okay, so right now I'm gonna wait for this car to go, just because I don't know how fast they're going. Oh, this guy is going here too. All right, give it a little gas, get out of first, go into two. Now I'm in third gear. Watch out for this car, make sure he doesn't do no dumb activities. But yeah, just being aware, being cautious of your surroundings, and always having at least 2 fingers on the clutch is going to be very helpful for you in the long run, because you never know. You never know. People tend to not really notice bikers. You know, people tend to not notice, you know, motorcyclers really, on the road. They're listening to music, or they, you know, they're jamming out to whatever they want to, or they're not really thinking of the guy on the motorcycle. So just being able to kind of know that, and you know, also knowing where your rev limit is. So see, now I'm in fourth, pretty quick. Again, it's all about being smooth, but being aware of your surroundings, making sure you're looking in each direction, is very important, especially as a newer rider. And it'll help you, again, in the long run, to be able to maneuver the clutch, maneuver, you know, and kind of handle that throttle, have that throttle control, so you know when to speed up or when to just kind of back off and slow down. Again, if you slow down and you close that throttle, you're naturally going to decrease your speed. That's just how it is. Obviously, if you open it up, you know, you're going to do what you need to do. So, what you doing, buddy? So, now we're in second. But again, being able to kind of maneuver that throttle, that clutch, simultaneously is a skill that, you know, a lot of newer riders kind of don't really develop right away, and sometimes it even takes years to really master it, you know, and be efficient as a rider. But I think overall these are really nice bikes to do that on. You know, lower displacement bikes, 400 to 600 cc bikes. I started, again, like I mentioned in my previous video, on a Ninja 650. It wasn't a 650R. Anything with an R is going to be, you know, it's going to be faster. But this was just a Ninja 650 that I had bought on Facebook Market for, you know, at the time, 2022, only for $1,500, which was a really good steal. It was a 2006, a little bit older, but it gave me a chance to kind of be aware and, you know, kind of learn, but also still have that fun. You know, I did sell my bike a few years ago, and I had just bought this Speed 400, so hence I'm making videos on, you know, throttle control and you know, how this machine rides overall. So let's see. There we go. What are these guys doing over here? Okay. And we're here. Initial thoughts on the Triumph Speed 400 and the throttle control. I think overall this bike is really good because being able to have that throttle response and kind of understand that, hey, you know, I need to be able to maneuver my bike a certain way so that you know, I don't get in trouble, basically. So I think overall this is a really nice bike to do that on. I also feel like this clutch is really nice because it, you know, it's interesting. It's different from my Ninja 650 that I had, because I feel like with this clutch, you know, I kind of have to go out a little further. It's a lot more forgiving than my Ninja 650 was. With my Ninja 650, you know, I really had to be really cautious, and you know, I think it might have had an adjustable clutch on there because they were bar end mirrors, and you know, also clip-ons, so and they were also adjustable. So the person who had it before me, they brought their friction zone, I feel like, a little bit too close, whereas when I bought this first time I rode it, I was like, wow, this friction zone is like way out here. So that kind of took some getting used to, but overall I feel like, you know, with this bike, again, being able to maneuver that clutch and the throttle, I do have the throttle assist here, which is kind of nice if your hand gets tired, because obviously these don't come with cruise control or quick shifters, nothing like that. But being able to, again, simultaneously let go of that clutch and add gas to that throttle is going to be key for being a overall better rider. So yeah, guys, I think that's all I got for you guys today for our review. Again, hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to You know, let me know in the comments of what you think about the Speed 400 and, you know, the clutch and the throttle response, and you know, if it's easy for some riders, if it's going to be hard for some people to get used to. Yeah, and again, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.